Hello folks, time for another video and shave. Okay, hello. Well, I see everybody's shaving with their clown fruit, but not me today because, well, first off, I don't actually have the technical clown fruit. I do have Will the Wisp, which is supposedly clown fruit. But anyway, I was talking with my wife and it was raining this morning, but now the sun is out. And we're pretty much just going to be home all day. So she asked me, she's like, how come you haven't shaved with that soap that I like out of all your soaps? Now, I have about 200 and change in soaps. But the soap she really likes, well, the scent she really likes is she loves Brute. Because it reminds her of her dad and her grandfather, who are no longer with us. So a soap that matches the Brute that I picked up for that sole purpose last year is Yulay's Minotaur. Let me get it right there. And off of the container, it kind of smells like Brute, but once you lather it, which I've already lathered it in the Captain's Choice bowl. It's already lathered and ready to rock. I use my 24mm flat top Dscosmetics today to whip that up. The flat top Dscosmetics. And once it's lathered, it smells exactly like the original Brute. I don't have the original Brute anymore. I used to have the Fabergé version, but I do have the newer version, and it's really darn close. Now, if you know of a soap out there that smells like Brute, just comment below. I was talking to my buddy Josh the other day, and he says Katie Bubbles has one. I think it's La Terre Verte or something like that. I have to scope it up because I don't remember reading on Katie's Bubbles website if that was like a Brute, kind of homage to Brute. But anyway, the Minotaur from Yulay, really awesome Brute scent. And like I said, off the puck, you're like, maybe, but once you lather it, it definitely smells like Brute. So, I wasn't sure what razor to use today. So, you know what? I feel like using the Eco, but I kind of was also thinking about Jill. So, I matched up the Eco today with the Rod George the frog handle, which Jill named, and my buddy Wes sent to me and it's from Rod George Shaves Designs. And blade wise, I don't know if you can see the blade that's in there. Blade, I'm using the crown, half DE crown blade that came with the Eco razor from Italian Barber. I know some people don't like this blade, but so far it's treating me well. Hopefully today it'll treat me well. So we kind of got that ready to rock and roll. I think today I'm going to use a pre-shave thing today, even though it's not October yet, but it's close. I'm going to wet the face. And maybe today we'll go with a little bit of Halloween Hobo with the PAA Tube. Or as Jimmy from NYC Wet Shaving says, makes me look like an Arab. Does have that nice dark charcoal thing going on there. So that's the Tube. I know that now there's a Tube 2.0. All right, so let's go with the Yulay Minotaur. I actually picked this soap up last year when it was, I think she re-released it for Father's Day last year. And the second that I found out that it smells like Brute, I was all over it. And then when it came in, I had my wife smell the container, and she's like, well, it kind of smells like Brute. But then once I lathered it, she's like, wow, it smells exactly like what she remembered as a kid. So, winner. So anytime I want to make my wife happy, I always use the Minotaur by Yulay. And it's a tallow base. Oh, I didn't even mention the ingredients. I was going to pop up the ingredients, but the ingredients is actually on the back of the container. So you can probably see it there. I'll pause it. Or you can pause it, I mean. And there you go. So that's the ingredients. It saves me from having to pop it up on screen. I like when artisans put the ingredients on the container, because if the base ever changes, you have it already on the container. That's good stuff. And it smells, once it's lathered, it smells exactly like Brute. So I love about this. Yeah, it was supposed to be a really nasty and rainy day today. Let me tell you, I got like no sleep last night because it rained so hard that it actually woke me up at like 1 o'clock in the morning. And my poor granddaughter's not feeling good today. She's all stuffed up. Thank God she's got a virtual day, because then she could just do her schoolwork from laying in bed. All right. So we'll go with the Minotaur from Yulay. You know, I haven't even seen... I know that Yulay is open. I know that Monica is moving from... I think she's in North Carolina, and she's moving to Texas. I don't know if that move has been made yet, but I know they were closed for a while. I haven't seen anybody do any Yulay YouTube videos lately. I have a handful of scents from Yulay. They're all great. But I don't see many videos. I've always had great success with Yulay soaps in the past. I know her bases run from tallow to some vegan to like emu milk or some stuff like that. But of course, I'll leave the link to Yulay's website down below. Like I said, I think she was closed. Yulay was closed for a little while they were getting ready for the move. I don't know if they're still open. I think they're open. I just don't know if they made the move yet to Texas. I don't think that was a secret, because I do remember reading it on social media, so. I really enjoy this Eco razor. The razor itself is so light, but when you put a nice little heftier handle on it, it shaves a little different to me. I find that I get a little bit closer shave. Yeah, it's like heating up here. It's like this, my air conditioning keeps on coming on, coming off. And it was raining last night, like, oh my God. But Glenn, you were talking about the razor. Yeah, and I get off track. That's why I like a heftier razor sometimes, because I have a tendency sometimes to push the razors, and that's not a good thing. Definitely doing a great job today. Wow, that's good. That is good. There's already some nasties in my sink. So yeah, I didn't tell my wife what I was going to be shaving with before I came in here, so she will be surprised, I hope. Because I know she loves the scent. I know she loves Brute. Now, when I think of Brute, I was a child or a kid in the 70s, so Joe Namath was big time in the 70s, and he was a big Brute guy, and plus here on the East Coast, you know, he was on the Jets, so he was in every local commercial with his Brute. I think my dad used to use Brute occasionally, but he was more of a Old Spice kind of guy. But then in like the 80s, my dad changed and he was into like Polo and scents like that. So, all right, the Eco on the Rod George the Frog, named by Jill. May she rest in peace. And my buddy Wes sent me this awesome Rod George setup, the handle, and had a Maggard's V3 head on it, which I still use, but I love to use this handle on different razor heads. It goes great with this Eco, but I also love it with my Rockwell 6C. Sorry if you can hear that air conditioning coming on and coming off. That's so good, so good. My nose seems to be collecting lather lately. Wow. That is spectacular. Especially for a midweek shave. Originally, I was going to break out some of the clown fruit style soap, but since my wife and I are going to be pretty much together all day today, I figured I'll surprise her with some Brute scent. All right, that should be good. Oh yeah, I am slick. All right, let's empty the old sea monster. Wipe down the counter, because the counter always gets gnarly, because that's the way I am. I am just a lathering water slob. Okay. Time to retire the sink towel here. And the towel my wife made me sitting there in the back, and I'm going to probably use my Lancaster towel today, but don't worry, I will use the Glen Shave towel sooner or later again. I like the way it looks. I really don't want to get it dirty. All right, so we go with the Lancaster. I am sorry, I have no idea when this towel is going to come out again. Even the sea monster says he has no clue. I wish the gentleman who operates Lancaster Razor Works would realize that people really want this towel. But I don't know what happened. I still will put the link to it down below, but hasn't been a drop in a while, so I don't know. I'm sorry, folks, I don't know. All right, so yeah, that was the Lancaster towel. I nicknamed it the water magnet because it's so efficient on sopping up the water on the face. Okay, so that was Yulay Minotaur today. Good stuff, smells like Brute. And I use Dscosmetics. Make sure I don't put it upside down like I usually do. Dscosmetics 24mm flat top in there. Whipped it up in the old Captain's Choice Sandstorm bowl. Another awesome goodie that my buddy Wes sent me. Captain's Choice. Great little bowl. Perfect setup. And what I'm going to do is I do have the matching balm. I don't know why the label got so scratched up. I must have shoved it in the drawer, but I do have the matching balm from Yulay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some of this on. This matches the soap perfectly. It's got all those good little skin nutrients in it for, you know, what your skin's looking for after a shave. I like to rub some around the ears, around the nose. And that was the matching Minotaur aftershave balm from Yulay. Like I says, it's like I scratched the label up pretty bad, but it wasn't like that when I got it. But I've had it for about a little over a year now. Oh, it's so good, that stuff. It smells great. No, that smells like Brute. Now to really drive my wife insane, throw on some Splash On from Brute. I know it's not the original formula, but what you're gonna do, I'll just put some of that on my neck. That's good. Ooh. Joe Namath all the way. Number 12. Brute. Good stuff. Okay. So if you guys like today's Minotaur shave, which is a great Brute smell, like I says, if you know of other artisans that have a Brute scented soap, comment down below. And yeah, that was great. Good stuff. I still have some of that soap up my nose. Anyway, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. You guys are awesome. We're slowly climbing up in numbers again, and I'm gonna have a good giveaway for my next, monumentous giveaway. And yeah, until next shave, Glenn signing off.